Good morning. Hello, Patty. How are you? Something's wrong with the internet. I think everybody's internet around the around the country is being any people that use YouTube, like content creators. I mean, just the average American knows nothing about optics, uh, audio, anything like that. When it comes to audio and visual, Americans are completely ignorant. We're 100% reliant on big tech to fix our problems. You know, the most that we can do is Google this, Google that. Oh, you have to change this setting. You have to plug your microphone into this port. That's about as far as it goes. You know, you can get your setup just right so this connects to that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to like actual optics and actual audio, we don't know anything about that shit. Nothing. And you know, we're becoming more and more dependent and reliant on something that we know nothing about. People can say that, oh, I'm an AI expert. No, you're not. You don't even know how a computer works, let alone AI. I mean, it's wild. But anyway, not to sound conspiratorial, but I've seen this happen recently with so many people's YouTube channels, audio and visual issues. So maybe I'm just being me and reading into it too much. But Sweet Tea, good morning. Tommy Stiggs, hello. So something to look out for, guys, because, you know, if I've always said this, and, you know, they've talked about this Alex Jones has been talking about this for 20 years. It's called the bandwidth wars. Bandwidth. What is bandwidth? Bandwidth is how much does each company, how much bandwidth does each company have to provide service to their customers? And these bandwidth wars are going to be where these corporations are jockeying for position over who provides the services. So, you know, we could see a time where one company's being attacked by another type of thing because who's going to do anything about it? The police, you know? I mean, and imagine that. They don't need black versus white or American versus immigrant type of thing when they can just shut the internet down. Everybody's going to go crazy. Imagine if the internet went down. ball and stickball. It's not a bad idea. We are at the mercy of who knows. Yeah. So, for me personally, it would suck to not be able to do this show because excuse me, of audio and video issues or whatever. But I don't have any skin in the game. Got to have a backup plan because I fully expect there to be, I mean, do we not think that do we think it's just going to be a smooth riding road all the way down with this data centers and streaming and all? And that's not going to be. They're either going to crack down with laws, they're going to make it too expensive. Well, let's see what's going on today. I hope everybody's doing good. What is today? Tuesday, the 11th. I think I'm going to the admin building today. Pretty sure I am. I'm going to set up right in front of the store, but I'm going to set up right next to it because it's in a strip mall and the building next to it, which connected to it, is completely vacant. It's been vacant. And the one next to that is vacant. So it's like a whole, and I'm sure you guys have those in your area too, where there's a strip mall that's just got nothing in it basically, but a fucking teriyaki and T-Mobile, everything else is gone. So that's the situation with that. So I'm going to set up and sell pumpkin pie, caramel apples, and all that starting sometime in September, I think. And I pretty much talked myself out of, so I just wasted $100 on doing that 4-day trip to the coast. That's a little too much for me for one person, I think, for 2 weeks notice. I don't know. Still not 100% that I'm not going to do it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do it. In my area, we have had our water supplies hacked a bunch of times. Damn. It is a scary thing too, because, valves are very important when it comes to national security, and they all come from Israel. These valves can be remotely, and these are what are used in our nation's water supplies and nuclear factories and whatever. Like those valves are very important, and the people that want to like to smell this store. On my computer, this is what I'm talking about. Like I go to click on we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I go to click on the next comment and won't highlight for a second. There we go. Isn't it funny, the things we remember and how a tetherball feels? Yeah. What coast for what? Well, I was going to do this event called Macaw Days over in Nia Bay, which it's literally the very northwest tip of Washington on the Olympic Peninsula. There's nothing out there. They have a general store where I could get ice, but it's about 4 hours, and I would have to camp because they have like 5 hotels already been booked for months for this event. And there's too many issues. I don't have any communication with any of the event coordinators. They say that you have to pay the whole fee by the 15th or you lose your spot. And I haven't even got, I contacted all 3 numbers. I get one message back. I will contact you later this week. Okay. So I'm not going to put myself through the stress. I've been stressing out too much about it so I wasted $100 on a deposit, but it is what it is. Not the first time I've done that. If everything worked out and the stars aligned, I would make some decent money at it. It would have been worth it if everything works out perfectly, but I don't know. I'd still want to do it. I was hoping that my friends, Steve and his family would do it. Because they do it, but they're not doing it this year. So I don't know. Maybe next year. What I need to do is I need to get some of my stuff into some stores for the holidays. That's what I'm going to do. I need to go to the Metropolitan Market because they wanted to sell my hot cocoa bombs last year, and I never heard anything back from them. So which is one of the days of the market, but I just won't go to the market and have like this huge car show that I'm going to do. Yeah. This morning to get some coffee, and I walked down the cereal aisle. I mean, even the coffee's got to be just got some shit in it we don't know about. But does I'm sure there's people that buy cereal because you got kids or whatever. I buy the Fruity Pebbles for my strawberries and a couple other things that I make. In the cereal, whatever the fuck is in those, and it takes up the entire aisle. That's a racket right there. That entire aisle is nothing but just boxes of puffed corn and rice, and what's it going to be? $10 a box here pretty soon. So I just hope nobody buys that stuff. And this says that, apparently for the first time in a long time, real food because for me, see, this computer is just fucking bullshit. I do believe that.
Over the past year, sales growth of real food outpaced ultra-processed food for the first time by approximately 7%. And industry has responded. Just last week, Kellogg announced that it will eliminate artificial colors from all of its cereals by the end of 2026, a full year ahead of schedule. Kraft, Heinz, General Mills, Nestle, Conagra, J.M. Smucker, and Utz are all among the companies that have also made major commitments to remove artificial colors. Major commitments to remove artificial color. J.M. Smucker and Utz, Kraft, Heinz, General Mills, Nestle, Conagra, J.M.
Oh, and now we're muted. Did anybody notice that the video cut out for a second while it was playing? But Yeah, those companies are criminal. Kraft, General Mills, Heinz, um, Smuckers, Kellogg's, all those companies are absolute criminal. They deserve to be hung, those people, put in prison for life for what they've done to us and our kids and stuff like that. It's absolutely criminal. There's no reason to put all those chemicals in there other than you want to. The guy is fucking absolutely nuts over there. Unless you just want to control the population, and kill the population. There's no reason to have all that garbage in there. And other countries don't put a lot of those chemicals in there. So, I mean, good for them, I guess, that they're doing that. We have another year before they can take out one of the chemicals, he says, the color and all that.
Administrative action alone. We are doing everything that we can do within our legal power. We're using the authority that Congress has given HHS and FDA to strengthen oversight and protect the American food supply. But Congress must build on these actions through legislation.
I mean, I think we're all just kind of numb to that type of a speech anymore from this type of a person. I mean, I've lost complete faith in RFK. And, at this point, he just irritates me the way he talks. I wish he would literally just shut the fuck up and let somebody that doesn't have that condition talk. At least talk for him, It's fucking just, it's like a warped record or something that was out in the sun. I mean, dude, for the love of God, just shut up already. Okay, write it down. Use a teleprompter and show us, like what? He's going to give that to us if we listen to him too long. We used to joke about how long the crap can sit on a shelf, right? Their lobbyists are way stronger than yep, it's true. And the problem is with him is he's just a liar, He's just a liar. He's a grifter is what he is, These people just straight up lie to our faces, I for one fell for it. All the people in this country, and this is what we get. Exactly, Patty. It's just crazy town. This is a Ukrainian military surface drone that struck the hull of a Russian cargo ship, causing a massive explosion, which it's neither here nor there. But when I watched this video this morning, I don't know, there's something about it. I hope we don't see this shit here in America. It's one thing that it's like, oh, somebody got attacked by a great white shark off the coast of Nantucket or San Diego. But, this is not something that we've seen in America yet. And it doesn't have to kill a bunch of people. It doesn't have to be a nuclear bomb. It can just be simply blow up a port. And then an entire population of people in that area are going to be screwed. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out. How are you going to eat? Now you got to bring your food in from other places. And what I mean? It's immediate disaster for the entire country if that starts happening here. And the people that rule us, this is how they behave. So, you didn't fall for anything. We were hopeful. Yeah, we were hopeful for sure. I don't know. I mean, there's still people that are hopeful, and they're better people than I am. Candace Owen.
Anyway, I'm going to first show you the video of George Zinn's arrest. We haven't covered him much. He's decoy boy number 1. Obviously, he said I did. We actually to bring into a federal operation because we wrongly just dismiss them as crazy and we sort of move on. And I'm guilty of this with George Zinn. I probably should have prodded a bit more, paid more attention to his arrest. Now take a look at what's happening between his legs, but it makes more sense when we show you this video that he just has some stuff that is falling that seems to have come perhaps maybe. And if you are listening to this on audio, you can see his pants are down. He does have boxers on. And it just seems like whatever it is clearly attached to him, whether it's attached to his belt, and it looks like it's coming from his ankle because he is walking. But then she discovered that in the high-res photos, it appears that George Zinn has some sort of a device that's fallen. And somebody may recognize this. It may really be nothing. I'm not familiar with it, but that's what the close-up of it is. And as you can see, it looks like the only way I could describe it would be like a walkie-talkie meets an iPhone. It's a thicker device. Again, this could be something I'm not familiar with. This could very easily be like, oh, people who are hard on hearing have this device. Here's what it is. I immediately was like, it looks like a satellite phone because of the thickness of it, but I could be wrong. We're looking to just identify that device. If you guys want to pull that up one more time so people can see that, yes, you can send us an email to moretips@candaceowens.com. We just don't know what it is, and we'd like.
Well, more than likely what it is just some type of military communication device, that's off the grid, that can't be hacked, that doesn't use Wi-Fi or cellular communication. It does use like satellite or whatever the military uses because that's who that guy is. And this is the problem with, they use some, these people are like working on a level that our brains just can't comprehend, Who was wearing this? George Zinn. George Zinn is, let's see if, so George Zinn was standing a few rows up directly in front of Charlie Kirk when this happened. And when Charlie was hit, this guy stood up, his pants fall down, and he starts yelling, I did it, I did it. So he was distraction number 1. That's why they call him Decoy Boy, because he started claiming that he's the one that shot Charlie Kirk. I shot him, whatever he said. And so you have a lot going on all at the same time, and it doesn't make any sense. This is George Zinn right here.
Shoot me! Shoot me! Was that you? We don't know if it's him or not.
How dare you! How dare you! How dare you! How dare you!
So in what you're hearing right here, these people screaming, this is an orchestrated event. This is a pre-rehearsed skit that we're listening to. It is 100% fraudulent activity. This is criminal, organized crime in real time that you're listening to. That lady screaming is just part of the propaganda. It's just all an act, guys.
How dare you! How dare you! You're such a monster! What a monster! Such a monster! Monster! A monster! How dare you! Back it up! Back it up! How dare you! How dare you!
And so, like the person that's screaming, how dare you? Who is this person? We are one month away from the year anniversary of this happening. And we don't know who that lady is. You know what I mean? We don't know who a lot of these people are. Like they, you know, when that happened, it's like, it's go time. Everybody has their timed moment of action that you kick in, and everybody knows what their role is, you know, whether you act like you're a paramedic, you act like you're this, you know. You know what I mean? It's at this point, it doesn't fucking matter to me. I don't even really care whether he's alive or dead. The whole thing is just, it exposed the fact that, you know, our military is not supposed to kill its own people. It's in the Constitution, but that's what happened. So anyway, that's George Zinn. And you know, you can't make that stuff up, because apparently he is in jail now for child pornography. Let's see here. Doesn't anyone have a conscience anymore? They either paid him well or had something on him. Yep. And that's the thing, you know. Well, that's one of the theories, is that that's how they get these guys. And it's I think it's already been proven, actually, that, you know, if you are old material or whatever they call that, child pornography, and then the feds are in there waiting for you, and they what is going on? See how that just keeps going in and out on that video? And I'm not even doing nothing. I'm not even on the X page. So weird. I would rather have the mob from the 30s doing 40s and 40s run this country than what we have now. 100%. Me too. Be violent out there, but it would be really violent for a while. They'd have to clean the streets up. Seattle would take a while, for damn sure. But yeah, so that's how they get these people. And is George Zinn, you know, I mean, who knows what level that is? Like, is that even true? You know, like we can say we know exactly, you know, like, oh, that's how they got George Zinn, you know, but, and now he's in jail for, you know, child pornography or whatever. We don't really know the truth of who that guy is or what, you know, I mean, the status of these. That's another thing too. They can say, oh, well, he's in prison. How do we know? How do we know these people are in prison? How do we know Tyler Robinson's in prison? You know what I mean? He's like secured by Secret Service in and out. You know, they wheel him. It's just a big show. Grateful, hello. How are you? Yeah, you're muting out. It's weird. I know he keeps cutting out. Yeah, you know, and I heard Nate Valhalla talk about this yesterday again. I know Tommy was having issues. We know Thindu's been having issues for a long time. All kinds of people are having issues for no reason. And I just kind of predict that it's a thing. You know, what was I looking at? But it really does. Let me go to my YouTube real quick, and I want to listen. Because I heard somebody else was crackling. Even Edwin. Oh, that's right. I restarted my phone. Edwin was crackling the other day. Todd made me go in there for a second and listen. And I heard him crackling in and out. So I already know what it is. And I've been thinking about this for about a month now. Will not shut up about the Charlie Kirk investigation. The one thing you did is got people to shut up about Epstein files. No one even cares about Epstein anymore. when it comes to this Charlie Kirk thing. Let me see here. I have issues with it freezing today. Tommy, wasn't your internet freezing in and out for a minute? You know, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's true. It's just my own, you know, personal little conspiracy theory that our Wi-Fi, our bandwidth, our cellular connections are being messed with. Is it aliens? Is it the government? Is it Iran? Who's to say? Something's definitely happening, though, at least with my computer now. And I've heard Baron Coleman talk about it, Nate Walhall, everybody. So, yeah, let's move on. This guy and how we got on the whole, we're talking about George Zinn and the child pornography will lead into the next story. Bakersfield, Hung Chun Fong of Bakersfield was arrested and charged last July with possession of child pornography containing more than 600 images, and distribution of child pornography. He possessed 700 terabytes of child porn. 70 terabytes. Hung Chun Fong is his name. How did these people even? And so he only got he was sentenced to 2 years probation on Friday and will serve 90 days in Kern County Jail. So he got 90 days. He gets 3 months for basically, 70 terabytes. And, you know, what these guys are doing is they're using AI for this. So because there can't possibly be 70 terabytes of actual child pornography out there, can there? These people are sick, man. Absolutely sick. And the fact that he's operating as a Chinese or whatever he is, Hung Chung Fong, that has to be Chinese. Fong. Man, if your last name is Fong, you know you're a fucking dirty motherfucker, man. Has anybody ever known a good Fong? Oh, yes, Mr. Fong, he's so kind. No, he's not. And they can blame it on anything, sunspots, yeah, 100%. We had bad weather. I've really never had an issue with StreamYard, but you have to have a strong internet connection and good CPUs on. Yeah, 100%. Same here. I have no issues whatsoever here. I mean, you've seen, I can play these videos and go live every day, no problem. I mean, maybe there's one time I had an internet cut out, I think, which was not too long ago, and I didn't know why. I had to go reset my internet. But other than that, I don't have any issues at all. So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Will my prediction age well? I hope not. I hope I'm completely wrong. So you have heard of the rumor about the feds investigating OnlyFans for money laundering? No, I have not heard about that. I wouldn't doubt it, though. I mean, we already know that those type OnlyFans only exist for I wonder if when the video cuts in and out, does the audio cut in and out too? Cutting in and out. Hold on. Audio cuts out. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like I'll see the video, like I'm sharing the screen from X, and that will disappear. And when that disappears, must be when the audio cuts. But I don't know if you heard me, Grateful. I didn't hear about that, but it's like we're now. Could you imagine, like, if all of your income was based on, if all of your income relied on your ability to connect to your audience, and then you have internet connections, and like I said, we don't know anything about Wi-Fi. Most people don't even know that Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. And then from there, what does that mean? What does wireless fidelity mean? What the fuck is that? I have no clue. If you asked me to, like, if email broke the world and it was up, we're not fixing it. It's not going to happen. I don't know how to fix it. Audio cuts out only, and then your avatar stops booming like a speaker. Huh. Yeah, what happens on my end is the video disappears. I can't see the video on my screen, and it starts doing the spinning thing. Wild. Well, if it happens again, we'll just kind of deal with it. Just came across this. This is, well, it's just kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, great women, but it's blame it on them, but it's not. They're definitely a problem. It's not just them. This Zionist shill right here, the cat woman they call her, and it's just funny that these people have no substance whatsoever, but they just try to roll them out.
Since Charlie's death, I've watched nearly every episode of Candace's show. The episodes don't really make sense on their own, but together they paint this picture. Israel, billionaires, corrupt US government, greedy turning point, all conspiring to eliminate Charlie Kirk because, she says, he had finally broken free of those who controlled him. It is worth saying, again, this is a story for which there is no evidence,
There has never been any evidence. So this is how these people talk. But the person that put this video, evidence from Charlie's mouth.
never been any evidence.
Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate non-conspiracy question. All of a sudden, oh, Charlie is he's mean, exactly, right? Mm-hmm. I'm an American, okay? Like, I represent this country.
Since Charlie's death, I've watched nearly every episode of Candace's.
So, yeah. I heard about a podcast last night, that there is a podcast out here called Fresh and Fit. Jot that down. This guy believes it's run by, and they Fresh and Fit. The guy believes it's run by the feds. And they happen to be Muslim. Wow. Huh. And I'll check it out. I mean, who, the puppet masters, the people that really rule the world, who knows, man. A little Lego video. I'll skip it. Well, no, we'll play a little bit of it. So, yeah, fuck it. I don't want to play it. Colombia had an earthquake, 7.4. The problem is the numbers don't make sense. Just kind of like the ambient temperature outside doesn't make sense a lot of times. They'll say it's 80 degrees. It feels like 140. But these 7 point whatever earthquakes they're having around the globe are doing more destruction than a 7.4 should. And they're saying that it's because of the type of earthquake that it is. But you guys already know that I call bullshit, and that the government, I have been saying this for a very long time, that they can control the weather, they can create earthquakes. There's all kinds of things that they control, the hurricanes, all of it. They are in complete control of that stuff. And lo and behold, dead center where that Colombian earthquake was, there's some governmental shit going on. And I already talked about how Colombia was next. The end game in South America is Bolivia, because they have the lithium in their salt mines there. But they need Colombia too. So they're going through, they got Venezuela, they're going through and replacing whoever's in charge, they call it the regime change, with a Zionist, a pro-Israeli Zionist. They got him in Argentina already. They got him in Venezuela. I think Brazil's already in line. But they need Colombia and Bolivia. Bolivia might already have a Zionist in there. I don't know what their government's like. But I have a little bit on that. But anyway, here's some of the video from the earthquake.
Ay, ay, ay. 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 Duro, duro, téngase. Ay, ay. Ay. Mamita linda. Ya pasa, ya pasa, ya pasa. Ya.
My buddy just texted me and said my stream's cutting out more than RFK's voice. That is fucked up too, because I made fun of his voice. Cereal, the color red. And then all of a sudden that's what happened to me. So that's probably just bad karma on my part. But he's a motherfucker because he lied to us. Because politically he's a fucking piece of shit in my book. Because, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to fucking make us all healthy again. Shit. I mean, even the meat, you got to wonder if it's even real meat out there anymore, or is it 3D printed meat? You know what I mean? That's some funny shit though, Choppy, saying I'm cutting out more than RFK's voice.
Ya. Espera que deje temblar. Que deje temblando.
But what you're looking at there, that's a government attack. I know it is. I mean, people can believe what they want. And, and it always, when I see and have felt a couple minor earthquakes here in the Pacific Northwest, man, I don't know about you guys, but when I feel an earthquake, for some reason, I don't believe the earth is round when I feel those earthquakes. I'm not a flat earther, but it's just weird. I don't, it's just, if it doesn't feel, the story don't make sense to me. But anyway, I have a few videos on the earthquake. Here's another one.
Dylan! ¡Súbete, está temblando! Dios mío bendito. Dios mío, Dios mío. Dios mío.
And so at the end of the day, if what you want is to acquire a piece of land, we're probably cutting in and out again, guys. If you need a piece of land, you can make it look any way you want. You can start a dumpster fire as a homeless guy and burn down 700 buildings, or it could just be a natural disaster like an earthquake. But I believe that it's the same people causing the shit. And when it comes to these earthquakes, none of us know what a 7.4 is. So if you're there on the ground and the ground starts shaking, you don't know that that's a 7.4. Do we have like seismic, the Richter scales next to us measuring it with the little, you know what I mean? I don't think so. So, that's just my own belief. I feel like what they're doing, the general area will feel around a 7.4 earthquake, but certain areas, they're just, whatever the number you want to put at it is enough to just completely destroy those buildings, because that's what they want. They don't care whether they have to burn you out of your house or just shake the fucking shit out of it. Either way, you can't live there anymore. And then they get what they want. They're 15-minute cities, they're data centers, they're whatever the fuck they're doing. And is there a seismic app for that? I don't know. There might be. But a 7.4, I know a 7.4 is strong enough to do damage, especially depending on the way, what type of infrastructure you have. A lot of that's probably just like below grade, the way they're built in Colombia, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. But, all of this could be coming to a theater near us one day soon. This dude is just funny as hell. He got pulled over for a DUI. He's definitely going to jail.
Oh, you're free.
This would be Todd if he got pulled over for drinking. It looks like we're cutting in and funny. It's funny, right, Patty? I would be laughing if I was that cop. I wouldn't be able to hold it in. Our friend Chud the Builder is out. Everybody's America's favorite race baiting propagandist.
Where are the charges for me harassing black people? Where are the charges at? They say, oh, you're just going out there and harassing these people, and then you're playing victim whenever they chimp out on you. Where are the charges of me harassing them? They are forwarded. Okay, that was my alleged charge. And then they took my ass to jail again for taking a single sip of the ale, the beer that I was gifted. I walked in here, Merry Christmas ale. This is the free. Got you taking a.
I don't even know what he's talking about there, but this guy is now out of jail. They made it to where the judge had said it's $1 million bond, but the most that you can bond out from one bail's bondsman is $100,000. So he had to go to 10 different bail bondsmen because Alex Rosen, the pedophile guy, was going to get him out. But he had to go to 10 different bondsmen, which he did. So now he's out. I don't know. He had to go to court for another charge or something, but he is out. That's funny. Wouldn't it be funny if he was totally sober? This guy right here, yeah, 100%. Yeah, if he was totally sober, true. And it is possible. Some people are just like, they don't care. They just act like that, I guess. One large expense. One large expense for what? What was my large expense for? Forget. Oh yeah, the Japanese steakhouse. Large expense. But yeah, I think I have another video on Chud the Builder here in a minute. His mustache always looks fake to me. Yeah, well, I halfway think that video is AI. I don't know if I think that may be an outdated video. But I know the whole point to Chud the Builder is just to get people for no reason. He says homegrown tomatoes, basil, and jalapenos. Remove the skins and seeds first. Added shredded beets to the jars on the left for color. Salt, olive oil, sauteed. So, I mean, who doesn't like a good tomato sauce? Kurt Russell is facing boycott calls after being labeled homophobic. After he reportedly said children don't need new genders, they need normal parents. I firmly support him on this. Dang, what faggots told him that? What faggots have a problem with him saying that? That's so gay to have a problem with that. You know what I mean? You got to be half a fag to have a problem with Kurt Russell saying something like that. My God, what is wrong with people? I remember when me and my buddy Choppy went to the devil worshiping band Bridge City Sinners with Libby Lubbix. And it was inside of the Gay Pride Seattle district where they have like all kinds of weird signs on the windows that say, don't be racist, don't, whatever. All the sidewalks had rainbows and shit on them. Like they do really have like a safe zone. Or remember that, Chop? We went and seen Bridge City Sinners. Libby Lubbix. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I wonder if she has any videos on YouTube. So. I'm going to play you guys a little Bridge City Sinners real quick. If it'll ever load. Damn. They're actually really good. I mean, I don't listen to her music at all, like on a regular basis, but she's really talented, believe it or not. They're from Into the Devil. You know, it was cool where and it looks like we keep cutting in and out. Brooklyn. Here, I'll type it. I think they're from Brooklyn, and I think that's why they're the Bridge City Sinners, because of maybe the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know for sure, but some of the women that were there, I mean, I halfway thought about asking a couple of them out, because I don't know, they're different. I just kind of wanted to get to know a couple of them. You know, they're like all into Wiccan, and they were a trip. A couple of these chicks that were there, a lot of them actually, and they love this band. It's a whole thing. Never. My buddy corrected me. No, they're from Portland, he says. And we've seen them at Neumos, Neumo, in Capitol Hill in Seattle, which is their little, safe zone district. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, Bridge City Sinners. Real musicians, yeah. Performances are awesome. Like the husband, he kind of like represents the devil, and he's, he'll be there with all the dark on and the hat and the glasses with the fiddle. It's fucking badass. I love a voice like hers. It is very different. Shout out to Choppy taking me to that concert. All right, let's get. Yeah, everything takes a minute. It's like it's just skipping in and out. There we go. Shout out to Choppy. Yeah. Everybody likes him. Wow. Yeah, she's awesome. Libby Lux. I did. I forgot about that. He says, tell him how you got me fucked up on mushrooms. We must have did mushrooms that night. Shit, I got some mushrooms now chopped that you got to try these new ones. Just a little dab will do you. The Enigmas. Let's see here. More from the Colombian earthquake, 7.4. Death toll rises to 77. Sad. Scary.
To take this.
All right, here's our very energetic President Trump. This is the guy that was going to save America. And this is why I lost 150 followers in 24 hours on Facebook. And everybody told me to go fuck myself because of this guy.
Orders us at HHS to take this extremely seriously, as we have been for the last year and a half and more of the presidency.
Wake up, motherfucker.
At the NIH, what we
McFly, wake up, please.
we've done is we have established the Autism Data Science Initiative, which started almost a year, actually more than a year ago, where we funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism.
Look at him right there. He looks more fucked up than me and Choppy did at the Libby Lux concert. I mean, literally. I'm sure I was high that night, but I could not have been that high. Right there. You know, that's that look when you're like you're just highly medicated. You know, he is half of a pill away from the fentanyl slump. You know? He'll be the first ever president of the United States doing the Fetty slump. The Seattle Shuffle.
It's a complicated biological phenomenon. It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have, as the Secretary said, potentially genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why we've seen such a large rise. There must be some
$45 minutes to Nia Bay. That would be me on the way there, you know? And with my long neck, Drowsy Donald. Oh, Weekend at Bernie's. Yep, it's Weekend at Bernie's right there, you know? Pretty much. I mean, I guess that's the new tactic. Speaking of which, if Tommy Stiggs mentions Barron Trump one more time, okay, quit saying, Tommy, quit talking about Barron Trump. He's okay. If I hear Barron one more time from Weekend at Bernie's, yep. All right. This is Chris Berman. I'm not sure who he is, but it says, did he have ass removal surgery? He got his ass beat. Chris Berman? Wait a minute. Chris Berman. I remember Chris Berman. I love Chris Berman. Boomer. Now I remember who you guys remember him, right? That's Boomer. That dude I used to watch. You know, I'm sure Tommy knows who he is too, because when Tommy was, you know, wearing his red and black tracksuit to collect money, this is when this guy was like popular in the NFL for sports betting and all that kind of stuff back then. Boomer. Well, yeah, he definitely had something happen to him. He did get his ass chewed. You know, we watched AOC freeze her eggs with the 12 days of, you know, the needle shot to the stomach. Then the doctor comes in and removes the mature eggs and cryogenically freezes them for a later date. At the same time, we have all these other Democrats celebrate. Let's clap for murder. I mean, how do we ever expect to anybody from the Epstein class to ever get held accountable when these fucking psychopaths are clapping for the murder of nine month term babies, all the way up to birth for abortion? You know, scare tactics, this and that. I'm not a woman, so I don't have, you know, a say-so in the matter. But, well, I guess I would be a woman. I would consider being a woman to join the WNBA as women against women in basketball. You just say you're a woman. That's what they're doing now. Some of these NBA players or something. I heard something about that. So, yeah, I don't think I would do that. Yeah. Is that a good idea to have abortions all the way? What is the purpose of that? I mean, I guess it's a case-by-case basis, but, you know, on the problem with abortion is that a lot of people are looking at it through the lens of through a religious lens and through like a moral standpoint, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that that's not what these guys are up to. They're not passing laws based on morals and religion. They're passing these laws based on the latest technology to harvest organs and type of stuff. You know what I mean? Research. That's what that's all about. You know, it's literally pushing the envelope. Is what they're trying to do, and they've been doing it for a long time. You know, it's just been like conspiracy theory type of stuff. But Planned Parenthood is not what they say it is. You know, it's a whole everybody knows, it used to be eugenics, or it used to be the Department of Biology. Now it's the Eugenics Society. Hillary Clinton, all these people involved in it. India is huge on it too, with organ harvesting. They use drones to transport organs around and shit. They just signed. They signed. Who signed a stem cell harvesting bill? Oh, is what you're saying? Yeah, it's pretty much Gen X, right? I mean, but this is nothing new. I mean, there's videos out there from like 10 years ago of that Virginia governor. Oh, what we'll do is we'll keep the baby alive and keep him comfortable, and then the mother can have a conversation with the doctor and medical professionals and decide what's best for the baby. But we'll keep the baby comfortable. So the baby's already born, and these late term, that's what they're calling late term abortions, but it's just murdering little babies. It's crazy. Anyway, it's just kind of interesting that AOC is, doing the freezing of the eggs. And a lot of people have kids right now because they can't afford, scared to, because they feel like this country is losing its culture and replacement migration, and who wants to bring kids into that type of environment. The only kids that are coming into the environment are people that are having kids that didn't necessarily maybe plan on it, or
These are the guys that ruined America. White cucks. White weak men, beta cucks. Pussy ass cucks. Yeah.
What's going on here?
You should be ashamed of yourself. Hey, look at these are the guys that.
So, here's the thing with Chud the Builder. It was so easy to predict what was going to happen to him in the beginning when he was doing this. He was going to, it wasn't going to end well for him. He was either going to end, dead, shot, or in jail. And he got 2 out of the 3. What's going to happen to him this time? And why is he doing this? He represents, it says, you can call it Turning Point USA if you want to, but it's more complicated than that. These are the Zionists that are doing this. Released, raping kids, using dogs to rape full-grown men at will, just completely genociding people. Every last Zionist, they're in our government. Trump, P. Hegseth, Marco Rubio, all Zionists. Okay, and they have taken over our country, and so this is the climate that we're going to find on the streets. This is how racist people are going to be. They want the illusion that this guy is just a highly racist lone wolf kind of person that just for whatever reason has a following, because there must be like a lot of racist people out there. That's not the case. The case is that what's interesting is how it's Alex Rosen busting all the child predators. But why is it that a child predator loves Chud the builder. I mean, not the child predator catcher. The guy that catches all the child predators wanted to bail this guy out of jail. I don't understand that, to be determined. A cop in Finland is being charged with unintentional injury to something like that. He's chasing down a 15-year-old kid on a moped here, and the kid refuses to stop, and this is what the cop does.
Poliisipoilijan ojaan ja päin aitaa.
The kid luckily didn't get too hurt, I don't think, because he. But yeah, it's not a good idea to run from the cops, especially on a fucking moped. And then Fort Charleston is now, Joint Base Fort Charleston has been renamed.
The moment has now arrived. With a shared vision for the future and deep respect for our past, together, let us mark this new beginning in 3, 2, 1.
Pedophile, pro-Israeli, warmongering, satanic. Remember the ladybug story about Lindsey Graham? Yeah, he did run him off the road, Patty. He will have an bigger following, haven't been in jail probably. Yeah, now everybody knows who he is, right? I read he just got bailed out. Yep, he's out. But yeah, so is anybody glad that Lindsey Graham has an Air Force base named after him? I mean, let's just Google Lindsey Graham on X real quick and see what pops up. I got to be careful because it's probably going to be pornographic if we go down more than like 4 pages.
That the spirit of Charleston is with us. That one of my ancestors fought with Francis Marion, the swamp fox, which I think I'm going to get in trouble here, is also my Secret Service. But I can tell you that everybody who came before you all would be so proud to see you all standing here on the
Yeah, he loved to send the military to die for Israel. Let's see. I think that's all the videos I have for today. But I want to go to Baron Coleman for a second. Smart politicians, yes, 100%.
Give a fuck up.
at the right price, this is the place.
My experience at Broadmoor RV has been professional, on time. They answer all my
Guys, welcome in. I'm fearful for Tyler Robinson more than I ever have been in my life because
I'm going to mute him for a second. I just want to find the part of where he touches in on about the earthquake.
fun story. This is not really a real story, but it's a fun story. Over the weekend or a few days ago, the new president of Colombia was sworn in. The new president of Colombia was sworn in. Colombia's new president takes office in ceremony in Cali, highlighting hard line on armed groups, yada, yada. King Felipe of Spain, acting U.S. Attorney Todd Blanche, for some reason the FIFA president, Javier Milei, guy from Ecuador, guy from Chile, they all attended. I will say the U.S. sent quite a delegation. It wasn't just Todd Blanche. Actually have a guy I know that was there. I don't want to say he's a friend, maybe a former friend would be the way to say it. But he was there, and he works for the federal government, and he was on that trip. And then I noticed the U.S. also pledged a bunch of money on this trip. They pledged $1 billion in security aid to Colombia. U.S. promises $1 billion in security aid to Colombia as new right-wing president pledges drugs crackdown. Okay, got it. So I thought it was a little strange when just after they leave, there's a giant earthquake in exactly the same spot where they were. That's the earthquake map, ladies and gentlemen. If you've seen the pictures coming out of Colombia, it's crazy. But normally a president would get sworn in Bogota, which is over here where my mouse is moving around, kind of on the right-hand side, sort of the middle of the country, the right-hand side of this very light blue. Instead, they were sworn in, the president was sworn in Cali down here. And then an earthquake just devastates the region, knocks down buildings, kills a bunch of people in the exact same spot. And one has to wonder, does the United States have an earthquake machine? Like when we show up, can we leave an earthquake behind? Exactly. It seems like,
you know what, and what about Turning Point USA? Erica Kirk comes to Seattle. 2 days later, mass shooting, bite of Seattle. People go. So it is interesting, you know.
Maybe.
So I just thought that was interesting, his take on it there. Let me see here. I think that's it. X real quick. Go to the homepage, see if there's anything new. To play. It's like the videos. When I look at these pictures, something's not right about it. It's not natural, you know. Yeah, Colombia.
Daños completos.
Pereira. Vámonos que...
I mean, just incredible. Let's see if I we got here another one. All the birds going crazy everywhere. You know, and the one that they say is going to hit the Pacific Northwest is going to be way bigger than that. 9 point something, a margin rupture. My computer's glitching out. Dun, dun. Drone strikes. Yeah, I'm going to call it there, guys. It looks like I'm still cutting in and out right now as we speak. Test one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think Chatty, Gen X, Choppy in the Bushes, CG2, all you that came in. We'll talk to you next time.